Want to talk more about this right now, the migrant caravan, and also what is required to obtain asylum and the situation unfolding there at the border. We have immigration attorney with us, Saman Nasseri. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So you just heard, I mean, there's some rumors that this is going to happen again, that they're going to rush the border again. They must be getting bad intel because they're going to be deported, obviously, if they do this, right? If you're claiming asylum, you can't break the law.
No, horrible advice. They should not be rushing the border. They shouldn't be trying to cross illegally. Getting caught crossing illegally is the guaranteed way to spend the entire case in custody. If you come to the port of entry and you say you want asylum and you wait and you have a plausible case and you get it granted, you get a credible fear interview granted, they'll parole you into the country and you'll handle your case outside of custody. So do not rush the. I don't know where they're getting this advice from.
What is the requirement to gain asylum? What do you have to prove?
So there's a few steps first. The first thing they're going to go through is a credible fear interview. So they're going to get to the port of entry. They're going to say, hey, I have a fear of going back. And they'll do an interview with an asylum officer, and they'll ask a slew of questions about what the fear is, what are the instances that have happened to you, has anything particularly happened to you based on, religion, social groups. They want to say you're part of some sort of specific categorized group of people. Now, there's other ways that you cannot go back, like withholding of removal, protections under the Conventions Against Torture, and for those you show, more likely than not, you'll be harmed if you go back to your country. And the specifications vary based case by case, but you got to prove a little bit of something, and they can take it case by case and see who has a good case and who doesn't.
And I would assume that behavior is a part of this because patience is wearing thin on both sides of the border. We've heard Trump say that the caravan is full of criminals. I was just at the San Ysidro border this week where I had Mexicans telling me that they're rude, they're rejecting the food that's being offered to them. So if they act badly and behave badly, does that affect their claim?
I mean, no one's going to know who they are until they get here. But if they're going to be rushing the border and they're going to show up and say these are terrible conditions and they want to make it public and they want to make a scene down there, if they get arrested in Mexico, which some of them already have, that all hurts their case because when they run their fingerprints here in the U.S., anything that they get arrested for anywhere else in the world is also going to pop up. So there's no reason. Just be patient, wait your turn, wait your chance, and you've made it this far. So you can wait a little bit longer to try to get a good chance to be here.
Well, can you give us the process? Let's say they've got a reasonable belief that they're going to be persecuted, that violence might come upon them, because that's what you have to prove in order to gain asylum. You can't just be coming in because you want a better life or because you want a better job, right? It has to be you're fleeing violence from your country. Take us through. They get there, they prove it. How long do they have to wait? When do they come in? Where do they stay?
Okay, so they get it, they prove it. Then option 2 is CBP has 2 options. They can either parole them in, so they give them paperwork for them to come into the country and remain here, and they'll give them a court date and everything else, or they can take them into custody and house them until their case is pending. That all depends on how good the case is, whether or not they have family members here in the United States, whether there's someone that can be financially responsible for them. Usually the ones that get paroled in are the ones that do have family or someone that can help them out and take care of them while they're here in the United States. Now, once they're here, they have 1 year to get that application in. And then they'll go to court, they'll try to get that application in, and they'll fight their case.
I just want to make one more point. If they do get to our border illegally and they can sneak in illegally, they can still claim asylum. So there's some incentive for these guys to sneak in, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, because they'll get ahead of the line as far as making their claim goes, because they'll maybe make their claim right away. The flip side, though, is you'll sit in custody, because now you're considered what's called an arriving alien. And you get taken into custody as an arriving alien, you have no right to a bond, you have no right to release, doesn't matter how many family members you have here. And you can be sitting in custody while your case is on appeal and pending for 2, 3, 4 years, possibly. So I don't know if the risk is worth it.
Sure. Saman Nasseri, thanks for coming in. Really complicated issues.
Yeah, you should go down to the border and help them out.
Appreciate it.
How about that?
Boy. And then there's cost, which we didn't even get into. Thank you for being on the program. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.